Hello, Mike Swanson, Wall Street Window here. Today I want to talk with you about what is the VIX and why does it matter. It's been an interesting start for the year, and the Dow, of course, made records today by closing above 25,000. Of course, it's been going up at a basically 45 degrees angle without really any pullback at all for over a year. It's all it did last year was touch the 50-day moving average a couple of times. That's the blue line. Didn't even hit the red line, which is the 150. And there's record low volatility in the stock market, meaning the market isn't really moving up and down hugely on a daily basis. And the S&P 500 didn't even have a pullback of over 3% off of a high all of last year. And that's causing the VIX to trade at record lows. Today it closed at 931, but it went below 9, something that it's only done a few times in history. Just a few weeks ago, this had the lowest close in its history that surpassed the previous record low set in July. So what is this? What does it mean? The volatility index measures the premium that options traders are paying for volatility when they buy options. Well, that might sound complicated, but it's pretty simple. What it means is when options people buy a call or put on something, part of the options is pricing in how much something is going to move. The VIX is basically saying we think the market's not going to move that much. It's not going to be that volatile. And what's important is the VIX goes up in value when people are willing to pay higher prices for options, and it causes volatility premiums to spike. That happens when people are scared. Basically, a lot of people, when they get scared about stock market drops, instead of selling, there's an element that will buy puts to hedge their position. That drives these premiums up. And stock market crashes coincide with the VIX skyrocketing. Funny, though, is high VIX levels and spikes also tend to be good times to actually buy stocks from a long-term investment standpoint. With the VIX this low, that means people aren't worried at all about a stock market pullback at all, and because they haven't had one in so long, basically. And you can see right here in this chart, from the historical perspective, that the VIX is in a low level and it's been trading at a low level for quite some time. The only thing we can really compare it to is 2014. It was low in 2007. Historically, the VIX tends to trade above 12, but it's not doing that at all. And that means there's no fear in the market. Now, from a contrarian standpoint, from an investment standpoint, that can be troubling because it's better to invest when people are scared and worried. But this has no predictive value on what's going to happen next week or next month. And I have other indicators I use. Don't have time to go with you through them in this video. They have a 90-day forecasting ability, and none of them are flashing a warning sign. So that's what's going on in the VIX. It's low. Some people say worry about that, but it's not time to worry about that. So as 2018 begins, though, we have things going on. We have gold going up. Gold has gone through 1,300 an ounce. The GDX, gold stock ETF, which I do in a position in, it's approaching resistance at 24. If it breaks 24 this year, it's going to really explode and go crazy. Bitcoin, of course, had a smash in December, but it's recovering from that. If that was the major top for Bitcoin, it would be falling now. It would be below 10,000. It's not. And, of course, the Dow's up, as I said before. But something else is happening, and that's breakout stocks are going. They are running, and they are working. And this is what I see as the best way in the broad markets to make money. Not so much in, I do got investment positions. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but to make, quicker money at this point when you're this far into the bull market, momentum is working. We saw that with the Bitcoin stocks last month, such as Riot, that totally soared. There were marijuana stocks that went up a lot. And just today, this stock, Fiat Chrysler, went up 7.56%. What's interesting about this is it came out of a consolidation pattern. That's why the gain happened. Earlier in 2017, Fiat was trading between really 9.5 and 11.5 or so, and then it broke out in September and doubled in price. That set the stage for another consolidation period, support around 16, resistance at, say, 1875. It broke through that resistance just a few days ago. That led to the rally today, 7.56%. Breakouts are working, breakouts are running. Let me show you a stock that has not broken out yet. This is Activision. Oh, first note, on January 25th, Fiat is going to report earnings. Don't be surprised if we don't see an earnings run. This people buying ahead of earnings, hoping for good ones, or announcement of a share buyback. Activision has earnings on February 8th. Last year in February, the earnings caused it to gap up, and it ran like wild. So there's some hope that with the tax cuts, that some more share buybacks can be announced. And Activision is consolidating with resistance around 65, support really around 60. I don't think it's going to break out tomorrow and go up like Fiat did, but this stock could certainly break out ahead of the February 8th earnings date sometime this month. So keep your eye on this situation. The other thing you want to keep your eye on is this happening of other stocks, other setups. That's what we're looking for in my private trading group, Power Investor. And below this video, I've got another brand new DVD I released. It was super low initial launch discount special. Released it on January the 1st. The special is going to expire in a few days, but this DVD goes through my favorite stock setup. The twofold formula is what I call it. It's a buying setup, but just as important, in this DVD, I also show the selling strategy to use with these trading patterns. Because if you don't have a selling strategy, you only got half a game plan. You got to have a complete game plan. The selling strategy will give that to you, and we can get in the private group. We'll navigate all this stuff together. Just click below this video to get started, and I'll see you on the other side.